Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me again for another video. This is a Friday Sews video, so as always a huge thank you to Jen from Today and Jen Sewing for setting up this fabulous hashtag. It has been ages since I've done a Friday Sews video and I've really missed doing them, but I have so much to catch you up on. So thank you very much to everybody who's watched any of my previous videos, in particular my April to June makes video that came out over the last few weeks. So thank you very much for all the lovely feedback on that. That certainly was a bumper edition. I had great plans on doing Friday Sews videos for the last 2-3 weeks, but it just didn't happen. Life got in the way, family things, family sickness, I got sick, then younger French Seams got sick, work was really busy, life just kind of, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the vlogs got pushed down the priority list, but I have still been sewing and I can't wait to show you what I've been getting up to, but I really have missed sharing everything with you here on a Friday Sews. I love this format where I talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing, and a little bit about life as well. So on the life front, yes, it's been very busy. But anyway, we won't get into that too much. So what have I been doing? So will I start the quilting update like I usually do? I think I will. So I have finished my rope and anchor spring quilt and I absolutely love it. So here she is in all her glory. She is fully quilted in the little squiggles I think I showed you the last time. And then what I've done since the last time I spoke to you, which feels like 4 years ago, I have bound it in navy and I've added in this little really fun kind of rick-rack into the binding, which Tracy actually does on the version that she shows on the booklet for the spring quilt. And I was really taken by that because I think it looks really pretty having the navy binding matching the navy background and then having the little pop of colour here. So delighted with how this came out. I will pop in a big picture of it, but yeah, absolutely delighted. It's a fabulous pattern, really lovely instructions, and I think scope for different colours, which I really enjoyed. So I would really encourage you to have a look at Tracy's quilts. Rope and anchor, I'll link everything below, and I definitely have my eyes on some of her other patterns. They are just fabulous. In particular, the giraffe and the bee, they're just wonderful. So absolutely delighted with this. So yeah, it's now pride of place in our bedroom. I'm glad to say that it's been a little bit warm for a quilt, which is quite nice. But yeah, I love having this and I'm really pleased how it came out. So that was my first little quilting thing that I got done. The next bit I got done was, yes, you know, Dizzy Quilts and Sews released her Quilt As You Go series she'd done block 9. This is how to put all the blocks together. And this is what I had been wondering about since Izzy started this series, because the blocks, yeah, fine, you quilt your blocks, that's all fine. Then I kept thinking, how do they all go together? So delighted when Izzy put out that video and she showed us so clearly and so beautifully how to put all the blocks together. It was just magic. So Izzy, you know how much I love your series. I really do. I'll link everything below. She's got a playlist of all the blocks and how to put them together. So I believe the last one to come out now is to do the binding and then we'll be done. So this is my almost finished Quilt As You Go quilt. So you can see here are all my blocks. And then they have been joined as if by magic by these strips here, which is just fabulous. Then on the back, I've just done a different colour here. I think it's little flowers. And all the strips here join all the blocks together. It is just brilliant. It really is. I would encourage you, even if you haven't done any of these blocks, to go look at that video to show how Izzy does the how to join all the blocks together. It's just fabulous. So really happy with how this is coming out. I think it's going to be a really fun little quilt, and yeah, the binding just is left to go, so it's just wonderful. So very happy with this. I'll put again a full size picture of this as well. So that was my little quilting update, which has been brilliant. So what's next? I don't think I ever showed you what I received from this Becky seamstress. So cast your minds back to Me Made May, I know, a long time ago. I was very fortunate to win one of her giveaways over on Instagram that she was running during Me Made May about if you posted your binding, you might win a voucher to her shop. So I was very lucky to win that voucher, and I don't think I ever showed you what I received. So I sent her voucher very happily, and then I added a little bit on to get a little bit extra, and these are just so much fun. So I got a little remnants bag, and these are beautiful little sewing machines and these beautiful daisies, which I'll show you more about that in a minute. And this one says made in 2021, which is adorable. So this little bag of remnants, which is great. And then rustle. And then I also picked up these beautiful stars. And then this, I think it's a multi-pack kind of thing. This says Time to Explore, then Beautiful Planets. And then this one says Sewing Appreciation Society, which I love those colours. And then this one is one of her quite recent ones actually, and it says sewing makes me happy. So love these, and I was so delighted to receive these and then realised that I'd never shown them to you. So yes, you know how much I love the binding. So speaking of binding, I should say, I have finally finished the binding tutorial, which I've been promising for months and months and months. So if you watch my channel for any length of time, you know that if there's a neckline to be bound, I will bind it. So I've now got that video together. I just need to edit it and get it up to you guys, but I think I'll have it for you next week. So in that, do you want to see a sneaky peek? I do this little sweatshirt with a little jersey binding in here. And then I promised you the daisies, and the daisies go into my pink jumper here. So that's a little sneak peek of the binding tutorial, which hopefully will come out later for you. So that was my little bit of happy post. What else? Right, so what else have I been sewing up? Well, you may remember that I wanted to sew up a Bettine dress, so I got that done. We had a lovely, lovely Zoom session, so me and some sewing buddies, and I got this pretty much all sewn up in one evening. It was fabulous. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Bettine dress, and this is beautiful cotton voile fabric that I got from the Crafty Studio, and it's an Irida Hansen fabric. It's absolutely beautiful and it's lovely, lovely to work with. So it's a Bettine dress. It's got the lovely elastic at the waistband. It's got the lovely pockets. I made it ever so slightly longer than the pattern just because my old one was a little bit short. So this one, I think I've added about 2-3 inches to the length, and it comes up perfectly knee length. I don't think I have much pictures of me wearing any of these makes. I just haven't had a chance, but if you keep an eye on my Instagram, they should be popping up over the next week or so. So this is a dress. It does have a beautiful neckline. Shock horror, I did actually do the facing because I think one of the USPs, the universal selling point, is this line here on the Bettine dress that holds down the facing. So I thought I may as well do as I'm told with the instructions and put in a facing, but I think it looks really pretty. Then I've put in the little tabs here as well, and luckily enough I had two Jazz and Wow buttons left over that weren't from the same pack but actually matched beautifully. So this one is kind of pink and green, and this matches perfectly on this arm, and then this one is pink and red, and it matches perfectly on this side. So how wonderful was that I had two buttons left over and they both match the dress perfectly. So it's a really, really lovely pattern. I really enjoy it. It definitely is an oldie and a goodie. I think I made a size 4 grading to a size 5, and the fit is really great, and it's just a really, really pretty summer dress. So definitely would recommend the Bettine dress. So next up is a summer backpack that had been on my list for the longest time. So you may remember that during May, I think, I picked up the most beautiful prawn canvas fabric from Fabric Romance, the lovely Steph. And this is the fabric. It is the cutest fabric. I'd spotted it on her website this time last year, I believe, and then it sold out, and it came back into stock this year, and I thought, right, I just have to have some. And I really wanted to make it into a little backpack. So I ummed and ahed between the Sew Over It tote pack and the Noodle Head Buckthorn backpack. But in the end, I just decided to go for this as a kind of a summer backpack, and then I'm going to make the Buckthorn later in the year, I think, as a more kind of laptop carry bag for myself. But I thought this would be really, really cute for our holidays that are coming up very, very soon. I thought it was adorable, and it came out so well. So this is a beautiful canvas fabric from Fabric Romance, and then all the hardware I get from Quilt Yarn Stitch, so the webbing, and then there's little sliders, and there's D-rings as well, which worked out perfectly in this pink matching fabric, and I am delighted with how this came out. So this is a relatively new pattern from Sew Over It, and it's called the tote pack because it is a tote bag, but then it converts into a backpack, which is just, as soon as I saw this, I just thought it was so much fun. So at the front, you've got this big pocket here, which is really great. I didn't bother pattern matching because I got this entire thing out of a metre of fabric, and it's lined in the same fabric, which worked out wonderfully. Then on the inside, it doesn't come with this in the pattern, but I added a welt pocket. So I used the pattern piece and the instructions from Incomplete Stitches, the lovely Sarah, when I made her Apex carry bag a couple of years ago. So I just wanted to add in a little secure pocket on the inside. So it's got a little welt pocket in here. It's got a lovely kind of facing on the inside, which means it looks really, really neat. I used my continuous zipper tape, which looks very, very nice as well. And then on the back, this is how you convert it into a backpack. So it's got a lovely strip across here, and then it's got this little flap and a snap here, which I did a little heart snap, which I think looks so cute. And then when you want to convert it to a backpack, you bring the front strap to the back, and then you snap it into place in here, and then you've got these two straps which become your backpack, which is just brilliant. So it's absolutely enormous. I'd say it'll fit loads as well. I fully lined it with the prawns as well, which came out so nicely, so it looks really, really neat and tidy. I didn't bother to interface it because I figured two two layers of canvas was more than enough. So, but yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to using it on our little holiday. I think it is really, really cute. The only thing about this pattern is, and did I go wrong? I'm not quite sure, but does anybody else have experience on that these little bits of the zipper tape aren't covered on the inside? Please let me know if I went wrong and how I resolve it. But that's the only issue I had with the pattern. But it's a really, really good pattern. It took me maybe an evening to make. The instructions are really great. After doing loads of garment sewing, I just love doing little bag sewing like this because everything is so precise. There's no fitting. Everything you just press and sew and everything just came out so neat and tidy. But I absolutely love it. I think these would make really, really nice gifts as well. I think they are super cute. So I absolutely love my prawn backpack. I think it's adorable. Not quite sure will hubby wear it on holiday, but we'll see how that goes. So that was my little backpack and I'm delighted with it. So the next 1, 2, 3 things I got made up were from Rainbow Fabrics fabric. So you may know that I'm a brand ambassador for them. So I have a little code here. So it's Rachel !VIP and I spell Rachel RACHAEL. If you use that code, you get 20% off their fabric, which is marvellous. And they have a huge wide range of all kinds of different fabric types. And I'll go into a few of them right now. But yeah, be sure to check them out. I'll link their website below. So if you do use that code, I also get a very, very small commission. So thank you very, very much. So will I get started? I'll show you first of all because you got a little peek of this earlier. This is their beautiful pink modal jersey and it is just gorgeous. It's got a beautiful weight, a beautiful drape. It's just lovely and the colour is just fabulous. So this is the LB pullover. So I just got a metre of this fabric and I wondered what to do with it. I knew I wanted to make a kind of a drapey style t-shirt and then I figured that it's coming to the end of August. I'm not going to be wearing t-shirts for that much longer, so why don't I make a slightly longer t-shirt? So then I pulled out the LB pullover and I'd never made that as a crew neck before. I'd only ever made it as a kind of a roll neck, but it does come with a lovely crew neck pattern piece. And then I didn't have enough to make the full length, but what I did was kind of 3/4 length sleeves. But what I did was I made a kind of a faux cuff. So you can see here, this is actually just all attached. This is one pattern piece and there's the instructions on how to do this on the Waves and Wild Instagram account. Basically, you sew the sleeve and then turn it to the inside and turn it to the outside and then just overlock the edge and it creates this really, really cool faux cuff, which I think looks really nice. So it's kind of a slouchy, oversized 3/4 length t-shirt in a beautiful, beautiful pink colour. And this is the one that I used for my binding tutorial. So Specky Seamstress Daisies and little Cozy Club Handmade label. And I think this is just really cute. As you know, pink and green, yes, they are my new favourites. So I'm really happy with how this LB pullover came out in a modal jersey and I'm just loving this faux cuff hack. I'm definitely going to be using that again in future. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this fabric is just gorgeous. This fabric would be beautiful as a Aquila wrap dress. You know, I've made several. It'd be beautiful also in a jumpsuit. It's really lovely and sturdy and it would just fall beautifully. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that was one of my first makes. And I think I should wear that with my backpack. How nice would that be? That would be lovely. The next thing I got made up was a little pair of shorts for, did I mention I'm going on holidays? So these are the, and there's a stray thread, which I just snip off there as we're talking. You know, recently I made the Helen's Closet Arden pants. So I made a toile in a kind of a viscose fabric that came out really well. And then I made my real version in a linen. And I loved the Arden pants. I loved how they came out. And I really wanted to make another pair and then time escaped me. But what I really did want to make was a pair of shorts. And I saw on the Helen's Closet website that she has a hack to make the Arden pants into a shorts, which I followed, which was just fabulous. So using Rainbow Fabrics fabric, I made a little pair of Arden shorts in these adorable swans. I mean, how cute are these? This is a stretch cotton and it's just beautiful. I'm now going to make all my clothes out of stretch cotton. They are so comfortable. So I made my usual size in the Arden pants and then just followed Helen's instructions on how to kind of extend the end of them to make them splay out ever so slightly. So then when you turn up the hem, it sits very nicely and how much to add to the rise and everything is just brilliant. Really, really easy to do. I got these out easily out of 1.5 meters, easily. So they've got the lovely front pockets and I love the way you do the double stitching. It almost has a kind of a jeans finish to it. So it's got lovely pockets here at the front. The pocket construction of these is just brilliant. And then it's got 2 huge pockets at the back, which are just lovely. So I'm really keen to keep the pockets because I carry a lot of stuff. And then again, what I did, I really should take off all my loose threads. Do you know what happened? I put on the waistband upside down, so I had to unpick it and put it in again. That's why there's lots of loose threads. You can't have upside down swans, can you? So the waistband I just sew down with a little wavy stitch to keep the elastic down. I think it looks really nice. So delighted with my Arden pants, and I think this fabric is just gorgeous, and who doesn't want a pair of swan shorts? I mean, really. So yes, very pleased with how they came out. So the last thing I got made up in Rainbow Fabrics fabric is what I'm wearing, and I genuinely think this is one of the favourite things that I've ever made. This is a jumpsuit, and it's called the Serene jumpsuit, and it's by Size Me Sewing. So I was very lucky to win a PDF pattern from Size Me Sewing, the lovely Donna, during Sew Fruity. So I was perusing her website and I saw this jumpsuit and I said, that looks pretty cool. So bought the pattern, downloaded it, stuck it together, everything. The pattern pieces look very strange. And then I had a look on her Instagram about how this is all constructed and how it's very easy if you need to powder your nose, because usually wearing jumpsuits you have to do the whole down to the floor. Not very ladylike, but this jumpsuit is incredible. The construction on this is unbelievable. So the instructions on this were marvellous. She does have written instructions. She also has video instructions. I just followed the written instructions. They were absolutely perfect. No issues at all. She goes into a huge amount of detail. The sizing on this is spot on. She has you measure everything. So my poor husband was there and I got him to measure literally everything. I'd done there with my measuring tape, measuring waist to floor, hip to neck, all this, and then you plug it all in and she says, well, if you're this then add this, and if you're this then add that. The sizing is just marvellous. So I made this up and the construction is incredible and I loved every second of it, and it is now my favourite thing ever. So the fabric is a beautiful viscose fabric in this lovely kind of a ditzy green fabric. I really like it. So the top, it does come with a facing. Did I do the facing? No. The only change I made to the pattern, I put in binding, so more specky seamstress daisies as always. I put in a little label, I'll pop in a picture, and then if I stand up, this is just brilliant. Okay, so caveat, I am wearing leggings to show you the full effect. Okay, so this is the jumpsuit. It's got a little tie here and then it's completely open at the back. So that's my back there. So it's completely open. It's like a little top. So the fit on this, so the size, I'll pop in what size I use because it's symboled, but I added about an inch to the bodice length because I was like an inch above the bodice length they gave, and it's perfect. And then I didn't add anything to the rise in the legs, but I added about 3 inches to the legs because they do come out, they're meant to be cropped, but I wanted them full length. So do not adjust your sets. This is how you get in and out of this jumpsuit. So it's just really wide legs, and then it's got a split down the side. As you can see, I am wearing leggings. So you open up the tie like this. The tie goes all the way around, and here's your front legs, okay? And then you go under here and you open up a little button. So on this side you have little buttons. On this side you've got a little bit of elastic and a little button thing here. So these are buttonholes. So basically underneath this ties together. And then you flap this down, and then you basically flap the whole thing up. And I'm just wearing leggings. And here, modesty is preserved. Isn't that genius? So the legs are basically 2 enormous panels. Basically the way it comes in the PDF, you have to join 2 pieces together because the legs piece are about this wide, I think, to make, because it's all literally just one piece. So here's the amount of fabric that comes with it. So these are all your leg pieces, all this fabric. Here's the back, and this is the bit that goes around your waist. And these are so it ties like that, and that basically becomes your front. So you've got the gap here, and then you've got the other side of your trousers with the waist tie. Absolute genius. So hold please while I put this on again. The construction of this is just genius. It really is. I cannot say enough of this pattern. I absolutely love it. It does take about 4 meters of fabric though, which is obvious considering the amount of fabric, but from a kind of a wafty, just swanning around in these, it's just brilliant. And my love affair with the jumpsuits has continued. So anyway, thank you for indulging me, and thank you for watching me do that kind of funny undressing situation. But anyway, so I'm just having a look at my notes to see if I talked to you about everything. I think I have, and that's everything I've got made up. Really conscious that this video is going to be really long and really rambling. I do apologise. I've got very out of practice. So what are plans for the coming week? So we are going away on a little holiday. So we're just staying locally, but I'm really looking forward to a week off work and spending time with my lovely hubby and my wonderful 2 little boys. So because I'm going to be away from my sewing machine for a whole week, I thought, right, I'm going to take a little bit of hand sewing. And shamelessly copied from the lovely Karen Marie from Made by Karen Marie over here on YouTube. We're also doing a collaboration shortly. We're doing our jeans collaboration, and my denim has arrived. More on that in another vlog. So she recently put out that she had gone on a little trip and she brought hexies with her. So I thought, well, I'll do the same, shall I? So what I did was, on my Cricut, I made little hexies. I made them in gold glitter because, you know. So I made a few of these, and then what I've been doing is, if you remember a few weeks ago, the lovely Breda gave me a huge big bag of fabric. I measured the piece of fabric, I think they're about 9 inches square. So I took all the pink ones and all the purple ones, and I folded them into about 6 and measured how many hexies I could get in a pattern. So I can get about, or on a piece of fabric, I can get about 6. So I cut all these up, I made a load of little hexies, and now I'm just going to make a little hexie something. So I've kind of started, because once I started I got completely addicted to it. So there is kind of method to my madness in this. So they're going to be, say, purples, and I have purples surrounding a pink, and then pink surrounding a purple. That's my kind of method, but now it just looks totally random, but I'm okay with that. And this is going to be a kind of a quilted something, but I've just kind of pieced them together on the back, and then I've sewn them all together, and I think it's really cute. So this is going to turn out to be a little quilt or a little bag or something, but I can do a little bit of hand sewing while I'm on holiday. I'm sure Mr. French Seams is going to be delighted. So, but to do this, and because I hadn't done much sewing this week at all due to aforementioned work and sickness, if I was travelling with a little pair of scissors, I couldn't just very well put them in a bag. So I thought I'd make a little scissors pouch. And I had seen this on the Kylie and the Machine Instagram account, and it's called the Snippy Pouch, and I just thought it was adorable. And this is my little Snippy Pouch. So it comes in various sizes. It's a free pattern. You basically measure your scissors and cut out the size you want. So these are my little snips that I wanted to use. So I think this was maybe the second smallest size, and they just slot in here. So basically it's 2 pieces, a back and a front. What I did was I used some pink that I had left over from Breda, thank you very much, and then you might recognise this as my Nerida Hansen fabric. And what I did was using Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews. Do you remember when we did the kind of paisley quilting design? So I copied that, just free motion embroiders that, and then cut out my pattern pieces and made the little pouch. I also used a little bit of binding. I just used some pink fabric, the same as the inside, to make my own binding. The way they have you do the binding is to glue it on and then top stitch. I didn't really fancy that, so I sewed it on the usual way I would, and then I actually hand sewed it down because going around these sharp corners was quite tricky. But what they have you do is, because you've got a little piece of Velcro on the inside, they have you put a patch on the outside, which actually is very, very cute. So I thought I had to use a Kylie and the Machine label for that. Good things take time. Then you've got a little bit of Velcro. I'm storing my little needle in here, and then I've got my scissors all nicely tucked away. So that was my little project this week. I think it's really, really cute. And you can make these for all size scissors, and I think they're absolutely adorable. So this is a Snippy Pouch, and it's a free pattern. So I'll be using that to make my hexies. So that's what I'll be doing over the next week. Then also when I get back from my holidays, it'll be pretty much September, which is very, very frightening. So as I said, ash jeans all the way. I have my fabric. I just need to get cracking on that. Oh dear, a little bit scared, but really excited. And then the also thing I must get done, would like to get done, is my Bettine dress for afternoon tea frocktails, which is looming, which is pretty much the start of September, which I really, really have to get cracking on. So I have that beautiful pink gingham fabric that I'd like to get made up from that as a Bettine dress. So when I come back from holidays, we're straight into it, folks. We've got 2 things that we need to get done, made up in September pretty pronto, but I'm really looking forward to it. So this is the end of the vlog, and it's been all over the place. I do apologise, but I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. If you'd like to leave me a comment below, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to respond to any questions you may have. If you like this video, I'd very much like it if you give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I hope you're getting a chance for some lovely sewing. Are you coming into the end of summer sewing? Are you now thinking about autumn sewing, or are you still very much in the winter? I don't know, but let me know what you're working on. Are you now kind of thinking of back to school, which is in a few weeks? But yeah, I hope you're all well. I hope you are getting some time for some lovely sewing wherever you are in the world. And I'm really looking forward to coming back to you in a few weeks with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.